It's been a good time. Okay, we want to go into the next session, which is actually the last teaching session. After this session, we go on a 10-minute tea break and we come to the final session, which is question and answer. And that will be, it means that what we teach will be drawn from what you ask. And during the course of the tea break that will go after the session, if we can pass on a piece of papers to those who want to write down their question, or you can actually verbally ask your question if you don't want to write it. And but if you don't want to verbally ask your question, you can write the question and we will read it and answer for you. If you want to be anonymous in your asking, beautiful. You want to ask, but don't, in leadership summits and training, don't ever open your mouth to say, I am asking for them. You can't ask question, this question I'm asking, I know it about, but because of the people, don't do that. You're asking because one of the things, part of what I'm going to teach on now is the commonplace of leadership, the C's of leadership. Any leader, the first one, and I've gone started now, the first one is competence. Every leader must strive to be competent. Every leader must strive to be competent. Now, when we talk about competence, it is not reduced to what you know now. It is further to what you are willing to know. Competence actually is your willingness to keep learning. Your willingness to keep learning. When we say a leader must strive to be competent, it means that the leader must strive to continually learn. Continually learn. How many of us know there used to be a time where all the cars that were driven were manual cars? All were manual cars. And now there are automatic cars. There was a time I used to say to myself, I can't drive automatic, I can't understand what it is. But why that is an exhibition of ignorance, also, it is me saying to myself, if something changes, I will refuse to learn it because it does not fit into my present knowledge. A leader is not afraid to learn. A leader is not afraid, and a leader is not ashamed to learn. Every leader pursues and maximize every avenue to learn. Have you not noticed sometime, maybe in the body of Christ, when there is a meeting where you see our fathers of faith seated in the meeting, when somebody is speaking, they are all writing. And you'll be wondering, these men, what are they still writing from children they have given birth to? Is because two things about competence and leadership is the willingness to learn and the drive to learn. Every leader is a learner. Every time you hide from learning what you ought to learn is an exhibition of pride, because the truth is this: when you come to a place where you have known everything you need to know, you have died. It is a definition of death, that there is no other room to learn. The dead person does not know anything. I was even telling Mombi yesterday that somebody who is dead can be looking from heaven to earth. He said they don't see it. Me, I didn't know. I thought people who are dead to heaven will be seeing. I didn't know. And it's there in the Bible. So when you are dead, it ends. There's no. So when sometimes when you are too proud to learn, you will live in the sea of ignorance. When things change and these things are relevant to your operation, the humble thing to do is to find, even if the where to get is not, the strive, go search for it. Search for it. Because that is your leadership spirit that is pushing you. Search for it. We talked about attitude, about innovation. Search for it. And I normally say to people, you've been doing something, why you must improve. And improvement comes from what? Learning. Pastor Uka finished teaching, I looked at it. You think it is not a new improve I saw. It is somebody who has taken a task and said, I put Pastor Uka on a platform he's not comfortable with. You know it's not his platform. Where you cannot say, shout hallelujah. No, you stay and teach. To tell you, it's in you. I will call him on the phone. Do you need help? And I will go and start praying for him. I say, how are you? The date is coming. He say, I know. Have you not run away? Say, no. Be open to learning. Call those who know to say, how can they help you to learn? There are things you can even learn from those you are leading. Don't make them feel that they can never know. Many parents, we don't know what it means to be a leader. See, as in your home, you must be a parent and a leader. Because parenting alone will not take your words to where you must also provide leadership so that you can raise them as leaders. Jacob had placed Moses where Moses should be, placed Miriam where Miriam should be, placed Aaron where Aaron should be. And when God knows that a woman has placed her words in the proper place, and God said, lead my nation. So you must be open to learn. Something new is there, don't criticize it. Something new you don't understand, you criticize it. No, you learn from it. Because a leader ought to be what? Competent. Competent. Anytime people start outsourcing what they should have been getting from you, the message they are sending to you is that you're obsolete. That's the message. When God said to Abraham, if you don't do, I will raise stones to my son. Abraham started to destroy the stones. Say, God, when you live for stone, you won't see, you will see me. Don't go and sit down and fold your hand and say, let the. You know one thing, you see somebody who is 70, he's saying, let the younger people do it. You are still 70, you are still young. God called Abraham 75. I'm just thinking the younger people should do it. You know, one day I was teaching on the fact that even if you don't go to school, you can actually go to school and get every degree. One day I remember that I was somebody who grew up, and because of the way it is, I didn't go to third level education. I stopped in secondary school. I didn't see my WAEC. It could have been F9. Because by the time I was finishing secondary school, my brain has gone haywire. When I was finishing secondary, I was supposed to do WAEC was when they started his and hers. So from his and hers, go to Mr. A. Only me. Get to, or they will give you the exam hall. What? 1 + 1, 6. I knew what my result would be. I didn't go to take it. So when my dad now said he didn't have enough money to send me to tell, I said, fine, let them go. But I started teaching. I said, that does not mean your. You see, I'm not self-made. I followed. I learned from people. Sometimes people tell me you are too intelligent, you are this. I said to Mommy B, I said, if you cannot handle proper diction, don't take the microphone and speak in public. Don't come and start telling us, is it going and wasn't going? Why? Go and learn it in the backyard, because you expose your ignorant in public. I'm not saying to anybody, but I'm just saying. So somebody like me, I didn't go to the school when people wanted to go. Forget all this grammar I'm breaking for you. But I knew that if I want to be relevant and be able to, and I'll come to that place of C. So one day I just got up at 2. I said, okay, I'm going to take the form. I went to school with the Sister and Brachika. They were my school buddies. We were on campus together. Brachika is not afraid. He will come to me as college. We are going to college together. I didn't care. I was in NYG. The lecture, everybody in my class, I was more like a father to them. Yeah. And one day I woke up, I said, oh, it doesn't matter that I'm going to be part of the student union. I ran the election that I won. I was in the student council. You know what I was doing? I was learning. I was learning, for goodness sake, because pride hides you. Ignorance is the worst prison any man can be on. I was learning. When we finished, because I have to juggle being a parent and being a pastor and being a student. When all the lecture people said to me, he said, "We don't, Paul, you are, all the lecturers are your friend, you are a mafia because you are student union." No, you know why the lecturers are my friends? When they are teaching, I'm thinking my preaching message, they are teaching this thing. It's not through my head. They could have taught for 45 minutes. I didn't hear it they've said. And you know, you're studying law. I will go to the office, I'll sit down with them and say, teach me. So all the lecturers knew that I will always come to you and say, teach me. That's the first time you said it, didn't enter my head. Because I was thinking something else. Teach me, they'll teach me. But you can know you always see me in the library. Because I'm not the type who gets it once. So I will spend every subject, after it's been taught, I will spend 6 hours every day on it. Because I'm a slow learner. Are you shocked to hear it? I'm a slow learner. I'm not the type you just tell very fast. You are surprised? Did that. I will ask questions. One day I asked question. This is not a joke. I asked question in tort law. When I was asking question in tort law, the lecturer made a statement. He has come again. You know how you raise up your hand? He said he has come again. I asked because I don't know. I can't be muzzled. When I became member of student union, the lecturer was the first lecturer I dealt with. I sat her down. I said, you talk to students anyhow. He said, really? I said, yes. He doesn't know I'm the student. I said, we're going to make life hard for you. Say, please. Why? You see, you think when he say he has come again, and I won't die in ignorance. But do you know taught law? I was the one I started teaching students taught law, started teaching people. Because I asked questions to learn. When the university was looking for people who would go and present in Paris, they paid for me all trip, because I learned to know. Hallelujah. You must be competent in what you do. Continuous learning. It's what we translate to competence. We will see it in your work, we'll see it in your exhibition, we'll see it in your performance, we'll see that, I know when Yannick started keyboard, you know he's constantly learning. I know when Taylor started drum. On Sunday I was enjoying, on Saturday, Friday, I said, Terry's bass guitar. I said, if Big Daddy come, this boy play like this, he's gone to Nigeria, we'll tell him to reduce playing. They all improved. You will agree that our musicians and our choir are in constant improvement, isn't it? There's some department that is slow to improve. Not in this church. Oh. Hallelujah. How much they tell you there's that's why you see organizations put in training sessions. Because they train everybody as a leader. Nobody wants to employ somebody who is not a leader because you'll be a burden. Number 2. Every leader must be committed. Must be committed. The reason why you've not seen what you want to, because you're not committed to it. You know what it means to be committed to something? Be resolved. Make up your mind and say, this thing, whether you like it or not, I put myself fully. You must be fully committed. You must give it. It takes sacrifice to see the result we're looking for. It's not one. Nobody just say, I did it. Right? When my children were doing their living set, I said to them, nobody fails an exam they've not taken. Nobody fails the exam they are not taking. It's based, how committed are you to that course? No course you pursue that you will not achieve. Whatever you make up your mind to achieve, the only thing that will make you not achieve it is that you're not committed to it. When you're committed to it, it will work. Man is created to make things work. Not things does not work against you. They work for you, but it requires your commitment. How committed are you to that thing you're pursuing, to whatever you're doing, to the responsibility that you've been given? How committed are you to it? How committed? Now you are a leader you're in any place, in your workplace, in your career. No, you've never come up one day with something and say, I was just thinking. You know how beautiful your leader want to hear you say, I was just thinking about what. Do you know you go into the office of your boss and say, sir, I was just thinking about this. That is the greatest commitment. And it shows that this person, if we give this person more, they will do more. You have never thought, you know, many of us, if watching your place of work, those who clock in and clock out, remain clocking and all their years. And you hear them say, is it my work? I only go there to get salary. You only be getting salary. You only go. Commitment means taking what? Ownership. Don't get involved in anything you will not take ownership of. Don't get involved in anything you will not call your own. Don't see, let's use church. Sometimes I said to Mommy B, you didn't hear that person called TREM as a third party. They make TREM sound as if they are not part of it. I said, that kind of person, they have not arrived yet, they are just here. When not even is is mine. You see yourself as a singular person. When I got to Israel in 1998, I saw myself as the only person who God sent to the nation. That's how I saw myself. I wasn't seeing everybody. I saw myself and I was behaving. You will see my behavior. You will see my attitude. You will see my disposition. I was breaking barriers and doing. This is not a joke. There's Mombi here. There's the God's blessing. I was breaking barriers. I was in my 20s. I was breaking barriers because I saw myself as the only person there. I entered I went into the municipality. I told them, do you know what church is? They say no. I say good. It's good you don't know. I say it's the same thing. It's God. God brought people. And if the people gather where they are gathering, they are not supposed to be paying municipality regards this thing. They say really. I say yes. I say they say okay. It's true. It's God's house. I say wherever they gather is good. It's not this. They say yes. So I said there are people who are not Jews but they still gather is God. They say yes. I say they shouldn't be paying. They say really. I say write it. They wrote it. They gave me. I went to photocopy it. I gave all the churches. I said from today you will not. I must see my 20s. I don't have any problem. I said nobody pays council fee anymore. You are a church. I told them I'm the pastor of the city. My wife no. When the immigration want to meet with the city, they come through me. Nobody send me. Nobody send me. You take responsibility. You see yourself as the one who is responsible in your organization. You see, you take, even you know you are not the founder. You know you are not but because you are there, let your presence not be somebody who just came to, but somebody who owns. The moment you see it, you start acting ownership. Before you know it, you become an owner. But when you see yourself as, and the worst thing is all this clocking, you are counting now, looking, and do you know how you vocalize? You tell your colleague, in 5 hours we will go. I can't wait to go. No, I didn't come to go. I came to impart. I'm here to effect a change. I know that after 8 hours I will leave. But my presence never leaves, because in that 8 hours, because I did not just come to go, I will maximize, I will see things. Then you just be surprised. You will see mistakes. You'll be thinking, do you know what it means to go and tell your boss something they are thinking of? You just begin to gist them the solution. That's how Joseph began to rule Egypt. Because what? Joseph must have been committed to Egypt to understand how the economy will work. Imagine you are in church, we have this, we say this is our leadership, our leader. The question is, how many of our leaders are actually committed to the vision? You're committed to the vision. We don't need to be, you will come. It's even hard. Sometimes you come for leadership meeting. First of all, they will not come talk about thinking of how, when you did not come, what shows you this? What shows your commitment? So those are there are organizations where you cannot you can't be given responsibility of leadership if you don't have enough knowledge of what the organization is all about and how it works. And that is why I've always said, let us not spiritualize everything. The church is an organism and is an organization. The leadership that runs the organization must be able to work effectively. We have people who are doing well in their careers and all, but when they come to church, they seem to fail because we have made them thought that if you come to church, just speak in tongues, everything is fine. Well, how committed are you? If you want your family, your home to work as a leader, you must be committed to your home. You must be committed to relationship. You must be committed to business. You must be committed to your career. Be committed. And I want to say to many of us who are career people, is this: please don't go from tomorrow. Don't go to work as if it's just a place where you go to earn your living. You cannot earn your living. Your living is in you. Nothing gives you your living. You stop that thing, you go to earn your living. How much are they paying you that is your living? And because if you don't learn commitment from little things, you cannot be committed. Big things will not be committed unto you. The third one, every leader must be able to communicate. Leadership is about communication. Every leader must be able to communicate and effectively. You see, because leadership deals with the people for the process, if the people don't understand what you are saying, it is hard for them to grasp, to know what to do. You know how many times that people say, we don't understand our leader? Have you heard that before? We don't understand our leader. Because communication spans beyond just being verbal. There are different ways of communicating. We don't know what direction you are going. And as a leader, you don't go to one direction, people go another direction. Everybody must be in sync, in line. People really want to follow you, your leadership, but they don't tend to understand where you are going to. So that is where you must be very clear in your communication. What are you about? What is it about? And sometimes I say to people, when your subordinates are asking you, please tell us again the vision. Don't say, you've been here with 10 years, you should know the vision. No. Tell them the vision. You are teaching that every leader should learn. Now they want to learn. You are saying to them, you ought to have known. In leadership, we do not say anybody has known. Everyone is still striving to know. So when I come to ask you a question, I'm only also practicing what it means to be a leader, that maybe I am not clear. Just clarify. When my children were growing up, I used to say, make this fun. I said, when we say get into the car, always ask where are we going to. How wrong is that a question? Dad, Mom, where are we going to? Shut up. He shut up the answer. Then when you shut them up, when they grow up, they will never ask questions because you have taught. You know, this is our cultural thing that we use. It's good. Sometimes it's overbearing. Where you say these are Gen Z, these are that they are rude because they ask you questions. So you want to lead the people who will never ask questions. You know, what effrontery does she have? She's asking me questions. She's rude. No, she's not rude. She's asking questions or he's asking questions. And I think very soon we should be removing all these ancient and these ancestors from leadership and put Gen Zs. Because you are an ancestor. That's the reason why they can't ask you questions. you are too big, he's asking me why. We should wear black uniform. And they ask you why. You explain why we should wear black uniform. You can't tell them in African culture, young people don't ask questions. That's why we are where we are. Anybody who did not ask will never know. So, you just want to you cook, you just go, because you want to eat jollof rice, you just go and make jollof rice, and you just impose it on your children. Everybody must, you die. No. No. Allow them express themselves and guide their expression while they are growing up. But you build confidence and let them ask. I was saying to Mombi yesterday, I said we also need to be teaching certain people communication skills and expression, because I see some people, it's very hard to express themselves. They know what to say, but they don't know how to say it. The church should give them the ground to express and communicate effectively. You can't be communicating, and I'm talking to you, Pastor Oka, and I'm communicating with you, but either I'm looking like this or I'm looking like this. How? I should be talking to you. It is not rude to be looking at you. It is because communication is not just verbal. There are non-verbal communication. But sometimes you raise your child by telling them, how can you look an adult on the face and talk to them? Is an insult. Where? Because you are an ancestor. But God says that we behold his face. Oh, your own face, we can't look. Face culture. Then we raise a people who cannot communicate. Because leadership is about communication. When they find themselves in the boardroom, they can't speak. Not because they don't have what to speak. All the while they've been raised not to speak. The truth is that we pray that you also get in. I just say this. When we went to Paris to do, it was a combination of legal people. And we, gathered in Paris from all nations, 2 from every nation, from everywhere in the world. And we'll just come, we'll moot against ourselves and all. Our first opponent was Americans. Our first opponent was, and Americans are very loud. Very loud. Before we got in, it was me and one girl that went. But before we went in, they've intimidated us. How they were just loud. I just sat down. I said, this speaking things I'll be picking. Because it is campus. They say they are student lawyers. Me, I'm not student lawyer. I'm an ancient lawyer who has been preaching the word. That's why when you see Paul was better than Peter, because Paul has been. When we got there, when they did that presentation, when I opened my mouth, as I know scripture, that's how I know constitution. When I was speaking, the Americans were almost clapping. They were almost clapping. They were shocked. They came to ask me, how can a black man be Irish? I said, I am. They thought maybe I was somebody they brought from somewhere. I said, I'm full blood Irish. Deal with you. The judge came to me to say, yeah. He said, I like the way you treated the Americans. The second person to speak could not speak. Because they were shocked the way I was preaching. That preaching that when it's hot. That's the way I was doing it in the court. Then they now told us our next people we'll meet is the Indians. I even called my wife. I said, this one is a sleepover. They said it's a sleepover. I said, when we beat the Americans, after we deal with the Indians. 2 young ladies. When the young lady was doing that open case, when she was doing the open case, when she finished, an Indian girl, she almost even want to slap me. If you tell me, I will be agree with her. I will be. You can't believe. I was agreeing with somebody I should be opposing. When they finished with us, they went outside. So I asked them, I said, my God. He said they didn't come to play. Did we know that they know that we were sponsored by our government? That they paid their way. They didn't come to joke. That look at the hotel they kept us. They are in one B&B eating pizza. We will go to a restaurant. They finished. These girls came with fire. We forgot what we knew. That night we had to take them to dinner. We went to donate money for them. So, expression must be something you are allowed to know, so that every time you are able to communicate, because communication is verbal and non-verbal, and every leader must understand that you cannot be understood if you don't have effective communication skills. Even, I say I will not use the Bible, but I'll just say to that. Habakkuk says something. He said, at the time I knew what God has said, but it seemed not to be happening. And I will sit upon my watch and hear. He said, if he God told Habakkuk, the problem with the vision is not the vision. The problem with the vision is the communication. He said, write the vision, make it plain, so that they that read it, they are able to run. Can somebody run with the vision you have communicated? He said, when they are able to read and run with it, then the vision will not tarry. The vision tarries is because the visioner cannot express the vision. Sometimes I say to people jokingly, I say, there are some of you, when you come to share testimony, after you finish your testimony, we get confused. But we don't know what you're talking about anymore. Because communication is a skill that is required for anyone to live. We don't understand you, keep explaining until we understand. And let me tell us something about communication. Communication is not the ability to speak, but the ability for the hearer to understand you, for goodness sake. Communication is not you coming to say, then when we actualize the combination of the congruity and the ability to mogulazity, you are not a communicator, you are a dumb. Because we think that the higher the grammar we use, the better it is. No, the simple the words are, the better it is. When the hearer is able to quickly grasp, then the communicator is a great one. Have you not known that some of the churches that people run to, you are a better preacher than them, but you're not a better communicator? What people don't understand, they cannot benefit from. So stop all this looking for charismatism and shouting and all. Tell the people what they can hear. Some they ask them, can you understand me? You hear them say, no. So why are you clapping? We are watching movie. We are watching performance. You will know when it is performance people are watching and when people are grasping what you're saying. It's after you finish preaching, they will come to meet you in an office and be asking you questions you just answered on the altar. Yeah, you just know that all you did was to perform. You never communicated. Because communication, again, is not the effectiveness of what you have said, but it is the hearer that determines. It is a two-way stream. It is not a monologue. It is something that has to be a dialogue. If you say something or express something or give something, the receiver must be able to understand what it is and have clarity of it. When we communicate well, our hearers are able to use the information or use the knowledge for profiting. That is what communication is. That's why sometimes when you go to school, you see a very intelligent lecturer, but a poor communicator. One of the great men that I've ever met that taught law is one Professor Donohan. Now, the president just brought him into the Council of Elders of Ireland. I'm not surprised they did that. That man is too much. In NYG then, young man, professor, but now he has gone to, he's part of the elders, the Elder Council. You know what it means? You know what the Elder Council is? Huh? What's the Elder Council? Don't say. Not. You are a very knowledgeable man. Yes. The Council of Elders, they sit with the leader. Don't just say Ireland, any nation. All nation has the Council of Elders. There will be a collation of former past leaders. Like even somebody like that's in Ireland, all our past Taoiseach are members of Council of Elders, but they will also bring some people who are seen to have wisdom to sit there. He's a young man. But this man communicate any subject to you, you will understand it. He will tell you, coming to my class alone, you pass. You don't need to go. If you understand my teaching, don't forget what you write in the exam, you have passed. He will break. There was one course we were doing law. The lecturer was frustrating anybody. The day this man just came to sit in. The same thing that we couldn't understand, that looked as if the person was speaking French. He spoke it in English for the first time. We all say, so this thing is this simple. A good communicator makes things simple for people. The simpler it is. There's a book I would have told you to read. Don't go and read it. I don't advertise book for people. I would have asked you to go and read that book. It will show you the essence of communicating in a very simple way. Okay, so the next one we're going to deal with, I just do 2 more and we go, is every leader must be courageous. Every leader must be courageous, because leadership is about stepping onto, you will step into uncharted water. Remember, the leader has to first of all go before the people will follow. So leadership is about stepping into uncharted water. So it takes courage. The reason why most leaders don't go forward, they are afraid of the result of what they have not tried. Failing in a thing does not make you a failure. Failing actually says you are trying something you have not mastered. Failing means you are trying something you've not mastered, and it's a good thing. The number of failings you have in your life, I would like somebody to mentor me if that person have had a lot of failures in life, other than the one that tell me I never failed before, because you have never tried anything outside of your comfort zone. So why would I want to follow you? I'd rather follow somebody who say, I've had many failings in my life. It tells me that you always try to operate outside of your comfort zone. And it takes courage to do that. It takes courage to actually do that. It takes courage. The day we came, we were leaving Ennis. We were still living in Ennis. We were driving to Galway to do what God asked us to do in Galway from Ennis. I tell you, it is courage. Because you don't know what the outcome will be. You don't know how it will be, but you just know that you will go. After God has told you, you need courage to do. That's why God was saying to imagine where God said to Joshua, didn't I say I won't go to preach the Bible? I'm a believer. I'm a Christian first. God said to Joshua, he says, wheresoever, do they tell anybody that kind of thing? Joshua 1 verse 3, wheresoever the sole of your foot shall tread, I have given unto you as your possession. And he told him the parameter and the length and breadth of what he will possess. He now went to Joshua 1 verse 5. He says, there shall no man be able to stand against thee all the days of thy life. He said, but well, only be courageous. Which means he's saying, when they stand, your victory is that their stand does not disrupt your movement. That's why Joshua saw a giant bigger than any human being, carrying a sword that is bigger than a human being. You know, he walked to him. He said, whose army do you belong to? It takes courage. He said, whose army? Because if you are not for us, I will kill you. Because the angels do not have the stature of human beings. It takes courage. So, God, I thought you would fight for me. No, I just told you what can be. But it means what God was saying to Joshua, without courage, you will not achieve anything. You see all these things I've told you, if you are not courageous, it will not happen. So it is not hinged on my finished work, it's hinged on your courage to step in. That is why in Joshua 6, I'm not preaching, no. I'm just saying courage. In Joshua 6 verse 1, the Bible, when Joshua crossed Jordan, you know, because the life of a leader is from one trouble to another. They just crossed Jordan and he just thought everything was ended. They just saw Jericho. They said the war, chariots will be going about the war, and they don't have armory. They don't have armory to bring down the wall, but they need to cross that place. It takes courage, for goodness sake, to say, let's start going. There are many of us, take Bible off. Take Bible off, don't worry. There are many of us who had given up on the place of our victory. You know, I just say something to you. There is a young lady who was a member of our church, very vibrant, and people don't understand the way I operate. Very resourceful to this work, to TREM in Galway. And because her residency was being delayed, it looked as if time was going. One day she came and packed up, told me, Pastor, I want to return to my country. They are not doing anything. And Mombi, it might be a dream for you, It's like that, too. Better only be dreaming good dream. Let me say, I just dream, that this lady where she is going to will not work. But as a pastor, when you tell the lady not go, she'll think you want to maintain members. That's why when you tell me you want to do something I know is wrong, in your mind, you think I want to hold you in church. I don't do that. It's only sincerity of, I tell you, if you go there, that's how it is. There is nothing more being tells the lady pack alone. She pack alone the next month. The government declare paper for everybody. The worst thing to do is to call and say, I wish I know. No. If you were courageous enough, you will know that today's defeat does not hinder tomorrow's victory. You keep pushing. How did you get to where you are today? You keep what? Pushing. Keep pushing. The Bible says if you ask, they don't give you. Then begin to knock. See, no, you first of all ask, they didn't give you. Start seeking. If you seek, you begin to knock. If you don't, go and bring bulldozer. There's courage. There's courage. One day I took my bisca, I called Brachika, I called Pastoka. I said, let's go to a city called Sligo. Was it the day snow had us on the road? The snow stopped our car. Yes, it was that time it heavily snowed. We got to, Brachika was driving. We got to Tomb. Then the snow was everywhere. All cars were skidding. We were following one path. So a Saturday, I won't forget that night. I didn't tell them what we're going to do. Because I don't want to start having argument that is not there. Every night we'll be praying. And if you see Pastor Oka pray. We were doing all night every Friday. Was there Friday we were doing all night. And I'm the one leading the all night. And I found out Pastor Oka was trying to outpray me in the prayer that I'm leading. I said, it's not a problem. I don't believe in assistant pastor. They'll start praying against you. I didn't say it's not good, but me, I don't want. So I saw that night he over-prayed. I said, it's good. I said, Brachika, bring Pastor Oka. Bring Pastor Oka. We were driving, we got to Sligo. We called the people in Sligo. They were around, I don't know, about 4 of them or so about. I know they granted us entrance into that hostel, remember? So we talked to them, we encouraged them because the person who was leading them has left, and we talked to them, we encouraged them, we thanked them to still hold on and everything. While we were going, and I said to them, this is your pastor. Pastor Oka looked at me. I said, this is your pastor. I said, and he will come tomorrow. He will come tomorrow to church. I said that, I said, I'll lay hand on Pastor Oka. The Lord give you grace. The Lord strengthen you. You will take the land. We entered the car. Pastor Oka is a very quiet person. He won't talk. Yeah, I now see him and Brachika because we were both in front and I'm at the back. There was Brachika. Did you know? Brachika said he didn't know. They were. I didn't even mind them. They were. You say, tell him now. Tell him. Tell him now. Tell him. What are they telling him? So Pastor Oka now said, sir, I don't have a car to go. I will just go. I said, Brachika, drop me. I took the Mombi car. I gave to Pastor Oka. I said, I dash you the car. Take it to be going. I come out. I told Mombi. I said, I've dashed Pastor Oka your car. Be going to Sligo is your church. They were coming back. I called Pastor Oka that first day. I said, how is the place? He said they went. I said, you went with your wife? He said, yes. I said, what did she say? Because I want to know what the wife said. Didn't your wife say to yourself, are you following a madman? Are you following somebody who don't know? There is nothing. He said the wife didn't say, hey, because I'm more interested in what the wife said. Because, I said, the people come, yes. I said, the work will be good. It takes courage. He saw there was nothing there. They didn't have a place of worship. I said to Pastor Oka, you come and meet them in their hostel. Whatever people do, they didn't have a place of worship. Takes courage. Takes courage. So there is no one who will do any formidable thing without being. It takes courage to start a business. If you don't know, it takes courage. Even the career path you're pursuing, it takes courage to do it. You must make up your mind and say, I would. Courage is not the absence of fear. You are afraid. There is everything. The odds are against you, but you just choose to. I like what Job said in Job 14:14. He said, if a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed life, would I wait until what? my change come. I'll be the last. It takes courage to go into the uncharted forest. There's courage to do the work we did. There's courage to tell Pastor Oka, leave Sligo and go to Babriga. He doesn't even know where Babriga is. Now you don't understand. And I said to him, mentor Pastor Funke without telling her. If you tell her, she'll stop coming to church. Prepare her. You will leave the work for her. Don't tell her until I come. I'll just come on and we'll just pray for Pastor Funke. We'll run. And that's how it is. Then when you not call me, I tell you, be courageous. Don't worry. The day I took Pastor Oka to Babrigan the first time, it was Pastor Oka, Moimbi, and me. He's only one brother. One. You remember that day? It's only one person. And so this is church with pastor. Only one person. Takes courage. That was the day we went to the church. The day he was preparing to go, then I gave them a vision. You remember that? Lawyer now called, they are owing him 15,000. This one called, electricity called, they are owing them. The debt, I'm trying to calculate 120 something. Pastor Oka come and say, we will not die. Forget that you need to hear government will say, we are owing. That's what makes you now. If you're not owing anybody, you don't have a life. Nobody owes, and you are killing yourself. Nobody, we are owing. It's when you say, I'm not owing, we begin to fight. Sir, today are we still owing? If we have bailed because we are owing, what will happen? We will never know where we will get to. Takes courage. Pastor Funke call me. Say, the shoe is too big. I say, go to shoemaker. It takes courage. Everything. Do you know it took courage for you to be here today? You already have it. It's just for you to know how to maximize in it and grow. It takes courage. The last one I'm just going to do before we take 10 minutes prayer and 10 minutes break is every leader must have character. Good character. Good character. Character is the foundation of leadership. The reason is, as you go up in leadership, people are no longer interested in what you can do. Your reputation becomes their focus. That's why you see what we talk about leaders is about them, not what they are able to do. Reputation is big on leadership. That's why every time have you seen politicians, when they want to contest for any exalted office, people begin to pull out their things. Is because so people are saying, let's talk policy. Nobody's talking policy. It is character is the foundation for leadership. How is your character? You see, character is something you can, like I normally say to people, character is also like habit that you can work on. You can work on it, except you don't accept that this is something that can hinder, can impeach. Every human being is open to anything. We can do anything. At every given opportunity, any of us can do anything that are unthinkable. Do you know that? Do you even know that? I have a friend. Why, Oga? What are you looking for? Your mom? At your age? Are you still momming at your age? Don't let them reduce you. You should be looking out for your dad, not your mom at this age. Hang out with the boys. Go and play golf. Yeah. You are good, don't worry. I know we have mixed audience in this place. I have a friend who loves the Lord, who is highly gifted, who is wonderful in all things. And one day, he ran away with his secretary, left his wife and children. I personally know him. I personally know the heart he has for God and everything. I call him and say, I heard it is not true. He said it's true. He said, listen to me. Every human being should not open their mouth to say, you must start working on it, because exposed to certain things, you'll be shocked what you can do. And the higher you go in life, the more pressure it is. And I said to people, the higher you go, the more exposed you are. There are things you have never seen, you have not seen yet because of where you are. When you go higher, they exist in that place. So first of all, instead of pursuing that height, work on your character. Because on the day of your coronation, the only things that will be questioning it is your character. And your character is how people judge you. How people judge you. How is your character? It is amendable, for goodness sake. It is amendable. It is you can work on it. You can look at it. You know, somebody came to me, somebody will come to me and say, I'm just somebody who says my mind. I said, there's a place where your mind is not needed. Though. Do you know how many greatness you have walked out of because you've not dealt with yourself, being able to manage tense situation? Do you know certain actions you know that the worst thing is to take an action that you regret later. And you say to yourself, I know what I know. If I have known what I know, if I knew what I know today, I better know it that time, because that was when it was needed. As a leader, one of the things you must invest in is character formation. And most of the times, the reason why many of us in that area we default is because we don't have anybody who we are accountable to. And those sometimes those we are accountable to are not, because of the way the whole thing, they don't even tell us the way it is. You know, these days it's hard for somebody to want to hear the truth. And the moment people find out you are not the type who want to hear the truth, they start lying to you. They start telling you what you want to hear. Imagine you are a leader, all your subordinates gather. They just tell you. I was opportune to be in a group of certain people who were very close to a very, very strong leader. And something happened. They lied to the leader. And when we left where the leader is, I asked them, I said, why did you lie? They said, that's the only way you become relevant around the leader. Character is a strong tool we want to work on. Let's stand up to our feet.